Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. I really appreciate that. If you would like to help support the channel by making a donation, purchasing some cool shirts or stickers, please go down into the description. I appreciate it. Okay, this week's video is basically what happened for 3 days straight. That was amazing, and I so appreciate everybody. So technically how this all started out was, and before I do get started, please watch the whole video. The reason why is at the end, when you're done watching, please comment. I'm going to ask you your opinion, choice 1 or choice 2, and whoever wins is what I will do to the car the following week. So how did this start out? Well, Friday night, what I call the crew, a lot of folks showed up from Wisconsin, Kentucky, I believe Maryland, North Carolina. Friday, like early evening, everybody started showing up in town. Friday night was amazing. I'll show you a photo here in a second, and a lot of us got together and met at Eaton Park Diner. And we had such a nice time. We really, really did. And I so appreciated everybody taking out the time. It's not cheap for folks to come to town, rent a hotel room for a couple days, and we had such a lovely dinner together. We were there for a couple hours just hanging out and talking, and I so appreciated that very, very much. So then came Saturday, the day of the picnic, and it was very nice. Very, very hot. It was like 80 and felt like it was 95. And it was great. I believe the turnout would have been much bigger like the year prior. However, the heat was bad. A lot of people down south had a hard time making it up here due to flooding. God bless those folks. I feel horrible about that. And also, you know, other miscellaneous reasons. But it was very hot, and I think that kept a lot of people away. But we still had a great time, a nice turnout. Saturday started around 11 a.m. and around 6 we started slowly cleaning up. And one thing I was a little bummed out about is the person that was supposed to bring their lunch truck, is what I call it, technically speaking, was like an hour and a half, 2 hours late, which caused people to start leaving to go somewhere and get something to eat. And that was very sad. It was beyond my control. They stayed an hour and a half or so and left. So next year I'm going to do something different, and I'll explain next year's at the end of the video, which I think is going to make a lot of people happy. But I do apologize for that part, beyond my control. We had a great, great time. I got to meet lots of folks from all over the United States. Wished I could have spent more time with each person individually, but sometimes that's not easy. But here's some pictures and quick videos that I was able to capture, and I missed a lot of the people that already had left. So I missed a lot of the Volkswagen, sadly. But check this out, and I'll be right back.
And I would like to thank our club member and good friend Sean, who designed this logo. And he did ask first, but he brought 200 of these stickers to the club picnic to hand out. And I thank you very much, Sean, for that. I truly think that was a wonderful thing to do.
Look at this here. Beautiful Carmen Ghia. Under 10,000 miles. I don't want to snoop in the window, but I believe there is very low miles on it. Waiting to walk around back. I love this car. I absolutely love this car. I'll try to peek in the window. Very, very nice. I just met this member for the first time. Super nice guy. Let's take a walk around. See you, brother. Be careful. That is beautiful. And we got a Super Beetle right here. Very cool. I love when they do the roof rack with coolers. I really do. I'm out of breath a lot because it's extremely humid. Very, very hot day. Very nice car. Very well done. Original. I love it. Very cool. And check this out. This is a guy that's somewhat local to me, about 40 minutes away. Very, very nice dune buggy. This is very nicely done. He actually brought a friend with him. He was showing me pictures of his also, and that is super cool. We still got some people on the way here. This is really, wow, look at the size of them tires. That's like steamrollers. This is very nice. Very nicely done. Very clean too. And you'll have to pardon me, I don't have my microphones with me today because I forgot them. Very cool. Let's check out Herbie. This is my buddy William. Very, very fine guy. He did a really nice job with this car. I like when they do the clear lenses. Oops, there we go. Couldn't see. Clear lenses. It's really hot and humid here. Oh, a lot of people couldn't make it, sadly, because of the flooding and stuff. Very cool ride. He does nice work. I need to go to his house. We wanted to do a go over his collection and do an interview. Very nice ride. Really, really good job. It was at our thing last year, our event. Sorry, I'm getting loopy. It's way too hot. My buddy Justin with his Mexi, which is a very nice car. I need to step in and mess around with this with him a little bit. I like the seats in these. He's got his lowered down. Let me back up here a little bit. Having a hard time seeing my screen because it's so sunny. Very nice car. And we have Chris, his 67, which is super cool. He got this out of state. He actually lives right up the street from me. Friends with him and his wife. Very sweet people. Very, very honest car. That's about the best way I can put it. I love this car. He has a trailer he pulls with it, but he didn't have it with him today. Gotta love the white walls. Gotta love the white walls.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going in life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
And as promised, I wanted to go live from the picnic and talk to people, show them live on YouTube. Sadly, that's how much signal we had. Nobody there had signal on their phone. For some reason, it was a complete dead zone. There was nothing I could do about that, but it was still amazing. And I wanted to take out a moment and thank somebody that did something very, very special for me, was so thoughtful. A very, very good friend of my daughter's, her name is Gracie, and her mom's name is Danya. I had the pleasure of sitting with both of them. I never brought up anything, so they really caught me off guard. She was so sweet, Gracie had made this for me. I thought that was such a beautiful thing to do. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time holding it up. I'm going to get a frame for it, and I'm going to put it in the garage so it's on all my videos. Thank you, Gracie. That was the sweetest thing I've had done for me, especially from such a young girl who is a very good friend of my daughter. Thank you so much. It really was left me speechless, I'll be honest. So then, the picnic went all day long, and very good. I can't say enough about folks coming from so far away to spend time together. What a beautiful community that's pulling together but growing at the same time. I am absolutely amazed. I can't wait till next year, because the plans I have, and I'll explain in the end, is going to make it boom. But anyhow, Saturday was done. The picnic was over. Everybody parted ways, and I got a contact from one of the crew. We ended up going to Applebee's for the evening. It was a long day, and we sat at Applebee's. I'm not sure, maybe a couple hours. We broke bread, had dinner there, and enjoyed ourselves at Applebee's. We had so much fun. Of course, Heather had to do something stupid. I know. But you're used to seeing her on film, so you knew it had to happen, but I did not record it. It was fun, though, and I thank everybody. I know that was a long day in the heat for everybody, and then we got to sit at Applebee's together. And eat a late night dinner to, I think, 10:30 at night. I can't really remember. We just hung out and talked. I had such a wonderful time with such beautiful people, and it wasn't over yet. So Sunday, as promised, I hosted a brunch, or I should say Heather did, at the house for everybody that was still here in town. So we had a lot of folks over to our home, which was really, really great. I really enjoyed that. And we had a great time together. We had, I won't sit there and name the foods, but there was some homemade food, and we got to sit down and eat together and hang out for the day. And we had so much fun. But then, so who comes pulling in but Dan from VW Trends magazine? That really completed the third day. It was such a delight to meet Dan. What a very down-to-earth person. And I'm not just saying that, I'm being very honest. You know how I can be. He was so easy to get along with. He hung out in the kitchen with us, got a bite to eat.
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, pleasure to meet you. Wow, what a great little backyard you got.
Yeah, Heather did all this. I didn't give her no tips because I know nothing about this stuff.
I know, right? Sometimes it's let the pros do their thing. You did a beautiful job. Oh, that's great.
Do you wanna come in and get a bite to eat first here?
Yeah, I'll grab a bite. Did you guys already eat?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Come on in.
Gabbed for a bit. And of course, you know, the guys all hung out and then the women separated off and did their thing, which was cool. I got to tell you, I felt like sitting with Dan, and I'm sure the others will agree, I felt like I'd known him for 40 years. He's one of us. And I thank him for bringing the magazine back, which leads me to the next thing. Sit back tight. I got the chance to interview Dan, although prior to the interview, we got to talk off camera a bit, telling each other maybe a little about each other's past, which I thought was really cool, that we were able to communicate like that. And I had a great time doing the interview. So here's the interview. So sit back and watch it. As soon as it's done, I'm going to come back with a few more things, and then I'll let you go. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you for being part of it. And who do we have here today?
Dan Leadbetter from VW Trends Magazine, and I am in Slades' garage. I can't even believe it. It's like one of those things where you watch, you know, those videos about Universal Studios, and then you go there. That's how I feel here. I'm at Universal
I appreciate
Studios.
that, but this is just a garage. I mean, I am very flattered because Dan, as you've noticed, if you notice this right here, yes, he has been all over the place. So he's on Facebook Live. You need to watch him on there because it's kind of like Where's Waldo? You never know where Dan's going.
It is.
But, you know, I have a photo of his car, as you see here. And that's when you know you see Dan going by. And today is July
13th.
I couldn't remember. And, you know, I was so excited, even, and this is the truth, I'm not making this up.
All right.
I laid in bed last night. I checked my alarm clock 3 times because I was so paranoid I was going to wake up late, and I wanted to have, you know, some munchies for us, something to eat, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
When I seen him going up the hill, he passed the house, and I seen the big VW Trends going up, and I'm like, oh, he's here.
It's hard to
And
miss. It's a very, you know, if I ever get stranded anywhere, just get on Google Earth and just look around. You'll see the car. You can't miss it.
And you know, it's been great. Dan has spent today with me, and there were some folks here earlier. Here's a photo of them here. Great people, club members that are very, very down to earth. And the VW community is amazing. Dan and I have had some conversations today about how wonderful people really are. And when it comes to the VW community, and some of you may not like this, and it's okay, I've belonged to other communities like muscle car groups, and sometimes it's a little bit too much competition. Who got the bigger motor?
Right.
VW people really aren't like that very much, you know? And now, the thing I want to go over is back in the early 80s when I was young, I was one time.
You were young at one point.
You know?
I think I was too, but I don't remember.
Well, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I loved VW Trends. And I'm not just saying this. I mean, if I got to go get my wife and bring her up here, I got to look in the attic. I have some old VW Trends from years ago. I actually forgot to tell you they're a May if I can't remember if I told you that.
Hang on to them because they are collector's items.
I love them. And, you know, when VW Trends vanished, technically, you know, I was like, wow, that was kind of weird because it was such a great magazine. I know some of you subscribe, I'm sure, to other VW magazines, and that's fine. It's just like the internet. There's much room for all of us.
Absolutely.
Whether it's YouTube or magazine subscriptions, which don't forget, pop down in the description on all of my videos and subscribe to VW Trends. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. How do you think of that?
Please keep me out of the bingo parlor by subscribing. That's what I'm asking.
And I got to tell you, you can watch people all day on video, Facebook photos. And Dan, of course, is like a comedian on it all the time. If he gets off of Facebook, I'm leaving Facebook because I look forward to his posts every day. They make me realize that life is still fun. But, you know, VW Trends, Dan was an original to them. and I want him to explain when he started with them
Sure.
and what he did. So, Dan, can you tell me about that?
I'll give you the condensed version. It started when I moved to Southern California in '83.
Right.
And my first job, I worked as the manager of a Vans tennis shoe store. I'm wearing Vans right now, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
At a Vans tennis shoe store
Right.
in Westminster, California.
Right.
And I worked there for a little over a year, and then corporate came in one day and said, we have a new mandate. We want you to fire all the assistant managers throughout all the stores. And I loved my assistant manager. The guy was just on point. He was sharp. I was grooming him to be a manager because he
Right.
was that good.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm not going to fire the guy because he's too good. You should keep him. You need people like him. And they
Right.
said, no, we got to fire him. And I go, well, I tell you what, if you're going to fire him, move him up to manager and I'm going to quit.
Right.
And I did. And
that was a lot to give up.
it was
Yeah.
at the time, you know,
Yeah.
because I was 23, I think, 23 years old. And so I started looking for work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I called up this place. There was a want ad in, I think it was the newspaper or Auto Trader. We still had actual paper newspapers back then. It wasn't like New
Yeah,
York Times.
not like now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was for a place called Small Car Specialties
Right.
in Anaheim. And so I called the guy up and he said, this sounds great. Here's what we're paying, you know, and I'm going, I kind of want a little bit more. And I turned him down.
Right. Right.
And as soon as I hung up the phone, you know, you get that feeling in your gut that says you're making a big mistake.
You know.
And I called him back. I go, you know what, dude? I jumped the gun a little bit. I said, I'd like to take the job. And
Right.
he goes, come on in.
Yeah,
So
that intuition.
started
Yeah.
working at Small Car Specialties, a VW parts store, one of the big ones in the 80s, like Johnny Speed and Chrome, Car Custom, and those.
Car Custom, I remember.
Car Custom,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
So my boss was Sam Shackelford, who is the owner of Rancho Transmissions.
Oh.
It's a small industry.
Wow.
So I was driving this piece of crap 64 VW that had the hood held down with bungee cords, and it was just a mess. And so I was joking with Sam one day, who he knew the editorial director of VW Trends magazine, Bob Clark.
Right.
And I told Sam, I go, you should have Bob come down and do an article on my car. And Sam laughed. He goes, yeah, we'll call it the pile of the month. And I laughed. He laughed. And I said, no, let's do it just for fun.
Right.
So Bob said, we'll have the kid write something up and I'll take a look at it. So
Right.
Sam told me this and like freaked me out. Like I'm going, oh, I've never touched a typewriter. I don't know what I'm doing. So I borrowed my friend's parents' typewriter, one of the old IBM Selectronics or whatever it was.
Yeah, you don't see typewriters no more.
No. And I'm like doing the Columbus method, like find key and land. And I'm writing this. It took me 3 weeks to write 4 paragraphs. So I finally got it done and I gave it to Sam. I said, well, give this to Bob.
Right.
And he gave it to Bob on a Tuesday afternoon at 3. Sam called the shop because we didn't really have cell phones back then.
Yeah, right.
Called the
right.
shop and I pick up the phone and go, yep. And he goes, are you the, I won't use the expletive, but he goes, are you this piece of crap that wrote this story? And I'm like, oh gosh, that's so horrible. And he goes, I'm just messing with you. This is the funniest thing I've ever read. Do you want a job?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. I was like, yes. And that's how I got
Wow.
started at VW Trends magazine.
And that was year.
That was 1984.
Now, how long did you work for them?
I worked for McMullen and Ye Publishing from 84 until about 96, 97. It's a little fuzzy
You were with them
because
for a little while.
I was with them for quite a while because
Right.
I not only did VW Trends, I created another magazine there called Auto Sound Security, which was a car stereo magazine because I
Yes.
was really big in car stereos.
Right.
And I tried to get that into the VW thing as well.
Right.
So I did that, and then I got burned out because doing a monthly magazine means you're doing 3 weeks on or 3.5 weeks on, and then you get a couple days off, and then boom, you're doing it all over again.
That is a large amount of dedication. That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
even when you're young, right? I was relative,
Yeah.
and I had hair back then, so it's like it was just too taxing. So finally, I said, I just can't do it anymore. So I took a break. Macmillan and Yee got bought out by this big corporation, and they decided to do an internet division. Now, this was late 90s, early 2000s, kind of like right at the top of the .com bubble.
Right.
And,
yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
And they called me back. They said, hey, we want you to come in, and we want you to be a channel director, which means I would handle the Volkswagen segment, the Harley segment, the car stereo segment, and the lowrider segment, which was cool because I liked all those things.
Oh, yeah.
So they called me in, and that was just, people talk about the excess that went on, like all the Herman Miller chairs and all the exotic furniture, and it was all true. Like they were spending money hand over fist, and they created this thing called GreatRide.com, GR8RIDE.com. Well, it's long gone now. It kind of died a horrible death.
Right.
And so I moved on and went to work at a Harley dealership. Did that for a number of years. When the housing market died in 07, 08, I got let go. Then I got a gig with this company out of New York called DealNews.com, still around. Great company.
Right.
It's like an online bargain hunting shopping place.
Right. Right.
It's awesome. So then I got back to the Harley dealership. He called me back in. And then when COVID came around, like we're all in lockdown, and I'm going, well, what do I want to do with my life? Because I was
This is great here. Focus.
I was stay focused, people.
Focused on this.
So I was sitting there going, you know what? I'm 60 years old in 2020, and I'm going, I'm really kind of tired of working for other people.
I get
it's
it.
like I want to do something. Not only do I want to do something that's my own, I want to do something that gives back to a community that gave so much to me.
And that's a big deal. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
I love giving back and helping.
It is.
And I know, but spending the day with this gentleman here, he is all about helping people and being fair. And I'm sorry, I'm being honest. That's all.
Well, I'll get you that $5 later. but it's true. It's like I wanted something that was not just something that would maybe make me some money, but I wanted something that could give back and really, because I love the VW industry. And I said the best time I ever had was when I was doing VW Trends.
Yeah.
And so I knew it had been killed in 2005.
This is great.
And
this is great here.
I was like, oh, I wonder what happened. So I started digging around on the internet, trying to find out. And it was just laying there. Like it had been dead. The companies had been sold hundreds of times, whatever.
Right.
And it was available, and I picked it up and got it. And it's been 5 years now, and we're worldwide again and just having a blast. And
it was meant to be.
It was. It's one of those things, Slade. I call it a divine intersection.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those guys. I believe there are no accidents in the world, and especially when you look back over your life, you can go, "Oh, had this not happened, this wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have happened."
Right.
But everything lines up the way it's supposed to.
And it does. Oftentimes, I think fear holds us back.
100%.
Uncertainties holds us back. And I think that's with anything you do in life.
Yes.
You get that little bit of fear factor, and you're like, I don't know. And Dan and I were sitting at my kitchen table. I was honored enough. He was sitting at my kitchen table hanging out with me. No, seriously. And, even my son come in and was like, whoa, I love your magazine. And he is a muscle car guy. I'm an honest person. But, of course, he wants a damn Volkswagen because of him. But the thing is, my son's going through my magazines and that. I don't believe a lot is by accident. And I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
That struck a nerve there. What you explained to me, because we had talked about the house and I had to put it on video. It isn't by accident. It's from here. I mean, and Dan is genuine. I'm not just playing games, folks. I'm very down to earth because some of you sponsors don't like me. But it's okay. I don't really care. And please go forward with this. But I agree. It's not by accident. It's what's in here. And you get that feeling like when you sat down in 2000 and went, I don't know. And then you look at a few things and go, ooh, I know what I'm going to make happen now.
Exactly. And I think that was, at least for me, it was one of those things like when you know something is right,
Yes.
it's like you get that,
You get the feeling.
you get the feeling in
Yeah.
your gut. And
Yeah.
you know what? I think it was, not mean to get all philosophical, but there was a quote from Wayne Gretzky that says, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be on my deathbed and go, I wish I would have done that.
That happens a lot with people.
It does. Well, like
And-
you said, it's the giving up part. It's
Yeah.
like, I knew I didn't want to be the guy sitting on the couch watching reruns of Oprah
Yeah.
eating potato chips
Yeah,
all day.
exactly.
I
can
mean,
eat
even
chips.
though the potato chip part, we could,
Yeah, we can watch-
agree on that.
I probably edit that out. We like chips.
Yeah,
but
we
go
do
ahead.
like some chips. But it's like I didn't want to waste my life. And
Yeah.
I knew that I had something to give back.
Right.
And I didn't want to be stingy with it. I mean, I know, well, I like to think I'm funny, but I mean, I know
Actually, you are
I have a
funny.
good sense of humor. And it's just, it's my biggest asset and my biggest liability sometimes. But
everybody needs to have a sense of humor.
you have to.
You have to.
And I think that's so...
Life is short.
It
I
is.
watch your Facebook posts, and if I don't see one, then I go directly to your wall and I scan down and
to see if it had been posted
yeah,
before.
because I'm like, what the? I need some laughs today. What are you doing? What are we gonna do, Dan? Come on,
If
and
you
then
want to
boom,
follow
you
me
know?
on Facebook, it's DGLEADBETTER on Facebook. Follow me. I think I've only got like 3,000 people following, but once I get to 500 or 5,000, I think
5,000,
that's
yeah.
the limit. So
Yeah.
I have a backup page that I
Right.
can do stuff.
Yeah,
with.
actually, here's a picture of his page right here. That's how you can find him on there.
Yeah, so please
But-
jump on board. Everyone is welcome. You know, it's kind of like the Love Boat.
What I have found that I really enjoy, and Dan didn't bring this to my attention on his own, I recognized it. I do very simple things like how to adjust your brakes properly, how to remove your front beam, how to do this, how to do that. And people probably get tired of hearing that. But what I'm going with this is Dan really blew me away when he was willing to do an interview with me and show that I do simple DIY stuff. And I really appreciate that because a lot of magazines, and I'm not putting anyone down, I'm just being honest because you people know what I'm like. When you can take a guy like me out of a 14 by 23 garage in the suburbs, I have no fancy stuff here. I work with hand tools because I want you to work with them too. Not all of us can afford $400 guns and stuff to work on our cars, so I keep it simple. I would like to think Dan must appreciate that because he was good enough to put me in the magazine last year. Heather and I, you seen this ad. I literally was like blown away forever and still am because I thought that was a huge deal. And bringing VW Trends back, and that started back on what date do you recall?
Well, it was sometime in 2020 when I had the idea to do it, and the actual magazine came out. I believe it was the spring. I think it was April or May of 2021 was when the first actual issue came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I didn't know in the beginning. We had a lot going on with COVID. I didn't catch when it first came out.
Yeah,
And
a lot of people didn't.
No, they didn't.
And to this day, I still have people when I go to shows come up and go, "Oh, I didn't know you were back." And I'm going, it's been 5 years. I don't know how else
by
to
now
reach
you
people.
think, because when you're deep into the VW culture, so to speak,
right.
You usually catch stuff pretty fast.
And some people don't have social media.
No, they don't.
Which I found out.
Well, at my meet yesterday, kind of funny that was brought up, Heather was sitting with a couple, and I do apologize if you're watching this. It's hard for me to remember names. I know who Dan is, but a lot of people
I don't even know who I am.
They'll say,
so I get it.
They'll say, "Hi, I'm Joe," and 2 minutes later, I'm like, "Oh, damn, what was his name again?"
Bill.
But he had the 1950 split window, though. I know that. That shows you where our brains go.
Right.
But with the VW culture, as deep as I always was into it, I didn't know VW Trends came back out right. I didn't catch it. And then one thing led to another, and I'm like, oh, and I got online, and you should too. And I got a subscription because if you do not, and this is not a commercial, this is not what this is, so shut up. I'm just honest. if you don't have it, subscribe. I'm telling you. And here's the reason why. Just like a lot of other things that have came and went in life, you know, department stores, what have you, and then people go, oh, it's a shame, you know, I really like one. Did you support them? So, and this is not a commercial.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if you want to keep things alive, you have to participate in the program.
Right.
And VW Trends, they do anything from some guy that did a pro job on his car that looks breathtaking, or somebody like me that's going, hey, let's do a daily driver and let's use Rust-Oleum, but I'm going to show you how to make that paint last.
Right.
This is the thing about VW Trends. And like I said, again, in a repetitive fashion, this is not meant to do a sales publicity stunt. They don't need me at all.
But if you order today, you will get a set of Ginsu knives for $19.95.
Now that was good. You got to join
fun.
his Facebook, and you'll see this shit all day long.
But you know what you're saying, Slade. This is that was the whole intent when we brought the magazine back. We, the four partners, we sat down and we go, what are we going to do with this thing?
Yeah.
And
right.
I said, there are two things to me that are non-negotiable. I said, one, it has to have that flavor that it had back in the 80s.
You need the same flair.
You need the same kind of flair.
Absolutely.
And I think we're doing a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Because here's the thing. Yeah. Let's be honest. Hot VWs, I read Hot VWs every month.
Yeah, right.
I have to.
Right.
And I also read like Volkswagen, Hey Burner. I try to read as many as I can because I want to see what's going on.
Oh, you have to.
And here's what I've realized. Hot VWs has always been the elder statesman of the VW magazine world, and much respect to them for what they do.
I'm not putting Hot VW down, no.
But
absolutely.
VW Trends has always been the rowdy, out of control younger brother.
And that is true.
We will do stuff that nobody else will do.
Right.
And I like that about it because that opens up a whole playing field, like you were saying, from the guy who's building a rat rod in his garage to the dude who's spending $250,000 on a tricked out Carmen Ghia with gold wing doors and all that stuff and everything in between.
Yeah.
The other thing when we sat down, we said, look, the car is the star, but the story is king.
Yeah.
It's the story behind it. Like in our current issue, which would be the spring issue of 2025, in case you're watching this from the future.
Yeah.
You can go back. We had this story on this guy in Norway who was a VW enthusiast, diehard through and through. In a tragic accident, he was paralyzed from the waist down. And he was so bummed out. The guy, you got to read the story. He thought he would never be able to ride a Volkswagen again. And it just killed him. And he found an old Beetle with an auto stick. And he called one of his engineer friends and said, hey, can we figure out a way to do hand controls? Like those, the handicap vans where you can drive it. And they said, yeah, let's see what we can do. And they made it so he could roll up to the thing, get in the car, put his wheelchair in the back and go drive a Beetle again. And that to me is the triumph of the human spirit.
Is a blessing.
It is.
It is amazing. And that there isn't about a Volkswagen. I get where you went with that. And that is, and you don't see, and again, I'm not putting other magazines down. That's not my goal with this. My goal is to spend time with my new friend. Well, I've known him for a while.
Yeah.
But the point being, VW Trends does an all around. It's not just about the guy wrote out a check for $30,000 and said, here, restore my Beetle. I want to be able to put it in shows. These aren't cars that we're putting on trailers. Some you may. I get it. Maybe you're driving 3 states away. And we're older, but I get it. The VW Trends is the wild child where they kind of go all the way around the block and blanket all of it to the guy that did dump 50 grand into his car. Hey, I get there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
VW Trends, there's a lot of history with them, just as much as the other magazines. There's no difference. It did fade away, but thankfully in 2020, you are right. When you sit back and you think to yourself, what am I going to do later? Sit around and eat chips and watch TV? Now you will live another 30 years because you have a purpose. And
exactly.
What prints you're going to be leaving behind in the sand, make them prints that people remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's what Dan's doing, this will be forever now. people will look back, oh, I remember Dan, not trying to get rid of you. I'm
No,
just
I
saying.
was going to say, do you know something I don't know? Check, please.
40 years down the road. But, I am so thankful for what you did, because that took courage, for one thing, no matter what. That took a lot of stress. I can't imagine the stress of trying to put this all back together.
It was a challenge. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
And I will say this. When we decided to come back, I thought the first place I should probably release this would be on the Samba.
Yeah.
Which
right.
is a great,
great
thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you want some very entertaining reading, go search VW Trends is back on the Samba and read the comments, because I got some heat like you would not. People were saying this is the stupidest idea. You're a fool. You're an idiot. If you do it, give it away for free. We shouldn't have to pay for it. We can see it on the internet. Like,
wow,
you should read it, because it's
I
like,
will.
And there were points, you know what? And there were points where people would say really mean, hurtful things, and I would get very, very on the verge of like lashing out.
Right.
And my
girlfriend, you don't
girlfriend,
stoop to that. That's
my girlfriend said, she goes, remember that Bible verse that a soft answer turns away wrath? And I went, wow.
Right.
And I was like, so I'd step back, take a breath, write something nice. And the best part about that is, because it really does make the aggressor look foolish.
It does.
Because you're just being calm and collected, and then they'll try to fire something back, and then I'll say, oh, well, blah, blah,
the
blah,
person
blah.
that stays focused and calm, no matter, I don't know how I word this. If you stay focused and calm in any situation, you will not be the one laying there.
Absolutely.
And that is how that works in life. And, VW Trends to me, and I will admit, it does take me back to my youth. So there's that little thing inside going, I want to go lay in my bed again. And, when I was young and read these and dream about what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I can't thank you enough, because I can't imagine, just starting like when I did on YouTube, it's more stressful if you're taking it serious,
Absolutely.
And it's very stressful. There's a lot of combatants. There's a lot of ignorance. But you keep pushing forward. And thank goodness you did, because some people will throw in the towel and go, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
And now Dan's driving all over Canada and the United States. And no, he's not doing it to go, look at me.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. You know what I mean? This is about the VW culture. And I don't see too many people get in their car, clothes hanging in the back, driving down the road, sweating, and then go, the car broke down. I got to get this fixed. And that hotel kind of sucked a little bit. You know what? I'm pushing forward. There's a lot more to this than what folks think there is.
It is. And if it wasn't, and this is not like I'm trying to shine a light on me.
No, I get it.
It's really more about, how can I serve the community?
Yes.
How can I best bring what I know is a good magazine to the people who may not know about it?
Yeah.
And I get that at shows. People say, I didn't know.
Well, you have younger ones, depending on the time frame.
Absolutely.
That they weren't around. Dan, I know, drove, I don't even know how you're driving like you are. But
I don't know how I'm driving like I am either.
I don't. I really don't. I mean, Dan and I are very close to the same age, and I drive to Walmart and I'm wore out. Well, I think that's from being in Walmart. But, but I really appreciate, Dan got to have some food here today and hang out with us. And I felt the need to hit the pause button and film this while he was here, because you guys may see him being funny online, but sitting with him in real life, it wasn't even about the magazine. We were enjoying talking about VW parts and life and what has changed and how things are different, pretty much how our live chats are. And I can't thank you enough for that. This guy's more down to earth than you think, and I'm not BSing you. This is real. Misty was right about that.
I'll tell you what, and I am so thankful, not to make this a mutual admiration society,
right.
But it was Misty from the VW store that said, you got to get in touch with Slade.
That was very nice of her.
you guys are cut from the same cloth. You guys would
did
get
tell me
along.
that.
And then when I went in and kind of stalked your YouTube page to kind of get a, kind of find out who you were. Because, you
Right.
always like to vet people,
Well, yeah,
right?
you
And
yeah,
find out, make
yeah.
sure you're not a psychopath or
That's
anything.
right. He don't know
And
yet.
yeah, obviously I don't. But your wife makes great cookies. That's what I'm going to say. But then I saw what you were doing, and I saw the passion that you had for helping people.
Right.
And that to me, I mean, you all know this already, but the beautiful thing about the VW industry is if you have a Volkswagen or you had a Volkswagen and you run into somebody in another state, another town, and you meet them and you find out they had or have a Volkswagen, you're automatically friends.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a connection. And that
Yeah.
to me is the core and the crux of this community is, there are so many things that you can be angry about and pissed off about
Yeah.
and complain about and
Right.
shake your fist at the
Yeah.
kids on the lawn about.
Right.
But it's like the VW community by and large has been the nicest, most considerate, friendliest. And I've been to just about every state over the last 3 years doing my road trip. And the one takeaway that I have is everybody, but I shouldn't say everybody, that's a blanket statement. 99.9 and 9/10% of the people that I run into are just great people.
I believe it.
Who love what they do and
Right.
they want to help.
Yeah.
Like as I was driving down a freeway, I was heading someplace, and there was a bug pulled over by the side of the road, and right behind him was some guy in a bus helping him.
I believe it.
And
believe
I
it.
was like, that's the community. That's the
The
community I want to be a part of.
culture is completely different. This is the thing, folks. And before we part ways here, I know there are a lot of wise guys, and I know Dan's accurate on this statement. I have seen a lot. We don't even need magazines. I get it's your generation or whatever. I don't know. All I got to say is I feel warm inside my soul knowing that I can still pick up a magazine and read it, because when they're gone, y'all are going to look back later and go, well, I kind of did enjoy sitting on the porch or with my coffee in the evening looking at Hot VW or VW Trends or JC Whitney or your Tribune Review.
Right.
I could go on. But this is something we still need in life. And when that all leaves us, it'll be like I said earlier, when the department stores all left, everybody cried.
Yep.
But did you support them?
Exactly.
And that's what happens. So like I said, if you can, please, for me, I try to give to the community a lot and help out as much as I can. And there's never thanks needed for it. But if you really want to thank me, and it's not a commercial, I swear to you it's not, go down into the description and keep this magazine alive. I'm just being honest. This is not something we scripted out.
Yeah.
Actually, I said, can we do an interview while you're here real quick? He went, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, why not?
We didn't script anything because I'm not good at doing scripts.
Wait, that's not what the cue card says.
Yeah,
right there.
you're reading it. It's upside
that's
down.
the wrong thing. Okay, got it.
And a lot of people think that's why I brought that up, is I don't do scripting, but most of you know that. But I thank you, Dan.
Oh.
I mean, you took out time, no matter what, to come to my home and spend time with me.
Absolutely.
Come into my little garage. He said what everybody says. I thought this garage was bigger on film.
I thought it was like a big studio. And I walked in, I'm going, well, wait, where's the other part?
It's a 14 by 23.
But it is pretty amazing what you do in such a limited space. I think it's really cool.
I try to make good with what I have, because there's guys laying out in their driveway in a gravel, and I did it for years, trust me. Not filming, but it's not fun laying on gravel. I did it. I'm done. I'm older. And would I like a bigger garage? Yeah, of course.
Wouldn't we all?
But you know what? I'll just buy more crap and stockpile it.
Right.
So I mean, it's better off that I stay with what I'm doing.
Right.
But I try to make the best of what I have, to make it look like a not a studio, but something that you feel comfortable with, where you're recognizing the same place every week and go, Slade's working on a car again. But this week it was, Slade's sitting with Dan. Like, really?
Which is really cool. I can't even believe I'm here. I think this is when we were talking and I said I was going to be around this area.
I was like,
and you said,
whoa.
I'm only an hour away. And I I had today wide open, and I was like, I cannot pass up an opportunity.
I was so happy.
Oh,
I
dude,
really,
please, the honor was
my
mine.
son, you seen what he said as soon as he seen you.
He did.
He's a good guy. Even my daughter.
He said, "Where's that $5 you owe me?" I said, "I don't know. I don't have it on me. I'll sell it to you."
No, my family even were freaked out, when he did the article last year, and Heather was in it with me, of course, because she is in the videos. And my son seen it, and he said, "Oh my God!" That's exactly what he said. He was just staring at it. And then, of course, I had to order a bunch of copies for my kids because I've never been in a magazine. I don't think I have.
Have you?
Hope not. But
does that picture on the post office wall that says "wanted"?
Time to go, folks.
Yeah. Cut.
But hey, I want you to all jump down, grab your subscription. Dan, thank you so much, first of all, for taking out time with me today, no matter what.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate that very much. And we'll try to catch up with Dan in the future. Don't forget to hit up his Facebook. I'm going to put 2 pages for you to see right here. And then if you need anything, message me and say, hey, I can't find his page, and I will help you, okay? But let's blow up his page a little bit and get some activity on there, because I really like that, because him sitting in my garage is showing you right out. I'm just a little garage in a neighborhood, and he took out time to sit with me when he could be sitting somewhere drinking bourbon.
Well, I could be in a bad motel trying to kill the roaches around me. So this is a relief to be here. This is all I'm saying.
It's just humid and hot here.
It's a little warm.
Dan, thank you.
Dude,
I can't thank you enough, brother.
Oh,
I really appreciate it. Much love to you.
Oh,
thank you for being here.
And thank you guys for supporting this guy. I want to tell you.
I appreciate that.
That's one of the reasons, and I wanted to jump in, but you were speaking. You were speaking so eloquently about it. It really is refreshing when I run into people who have a heart for others, right? It's one thing if you're doing something for yourself, but it's another thing when you carve out time to help another person, whether it be, help an old lady across the street, whether it's helping someone figure out how to fix their disc brakes, whether it's helping someone, change their oil, or helping an old person mow their yard. I mean, this life is way too short to be spreading negativity and just being angry all the time. It's like I tell people at the end of my live streams, I say, just be good to each other. Do something nice. Like, help make this world a better place to live in just by being yourself. Because that's really all people want, is you, authentically you, not some made-up version of what you think they want.
And it doesn't cost anything to be nice.
No, it doesn't.
It's free.
It does.
It's free. And you do see that once in a while in the comments. Somebody gotta say something ignorant.
Of course.
Can't, and it's keyboard warrior. That's what it is. But
it is.
Dan's right. It's time to be kind. Okay, let go of the division, the stupidity. Turn off your TV, even if you have to.
Yeah.
And be happy and pick up your magazine and read it.
There you go.
I even got him to sign my magazine today. I'm thrilled now.
And I told him, I said, I thought you wanted the magazine value to go up. If he tries to sell it on eBay, he just lost 25% of what he could have got.
No, you used the Sharpie.
I did. That's true.
I'm safe.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking out time to sit here and watch us act silly.
Yep.
But stay tuned for the next one. And a couple of more things we'll go over before I close out tonight. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
I will say thank you, Dan. I so enjoyed spending time with him, and he didn't run out and leave. He wasn't here for that. He was here to meet us. I kind of sprung the interview thing on him. I had to. We actually had a great time. We sat at the kitchen table after the interview for hours, had some more food, talked, and just had such a great time. That was a lot for him. He's been on the road, and if you haven't been keeping an eye on him, you might want to. Make sure you subscribe to that wonderful magazine. I'm so thankful it's back, and I really do mean that. He takes out the time for us DIYers and our regular average folks that are trying to keep our cars on the road, and I really, really, really appreciate that very much. Okay, so that ended a 3-day run. Now I'm going to go over a couple of things, and I want your opinion on what you think you want to see me do, because I got to do it like relatively pretty quick. So as you know, we did the fat skinny look is what I call it. And that's when I had found out that the car in last week's episode was leaning to the left. And it happens a lot with these cars. We already know that, and I went over that in last week's video if you did see it. So we're about a 3/4 to an inch low on the left side, and it does happen. So here's what's going to go down. I got to bring the left side up almost an inch. The whole car will level out, okay? I can either put on adjustable spring plates, which I'm really considering that, to be honest with you, or I can re-index the torsions that are on there and get the car leveled out. So that takes a little bit of work back and forth. I'm not going to complete the motor. Obviously, I got to pull the tins and respray them and put the alternator on and the exhaust, but I am going to slam the motor in just real quick to get that weight down on the tires and see, do we want the left where it's at? Is it low? Or do we need the right brought down? We got to decide which way to go. What would you do? Would you re-index, or should I put adjustable spring plates on? I can do some other stuff if it takes a week for them to arrive, because then I can always tweak it up and down very easily if I'd like to. Tell me what you think in the comments about that, because that's got to come up. Glad I didn't do the e-brake cables yet, because I'd have had to pull them back off. Tell me what you think, if you think I should go ahead and order the plates, if it's worth it. I think it is, but I want to get everybody's input on that. If I am going to go that route, then I'll just do some other stuff in the meantime for a week or so until I get the plates in. Whew, what a long 3 days. All of you folks are amazing. I really appreciate all the travel time that you guys and ladies had spent. All in all, I must say, it was a beautiful 3 days, and I thank all of you who attended. I really appreciated it. It was truly nice to know that we have such an extended family that keeps pulling together, and it's growing larger. So I will explain what's going to go on next year, but I'll keep it very brief, and then we can get into it a little later. I'm going to move it probably to October next year when it's nice and cool out, where everybody don't have to be in that miserable heat. I'm not calling on a lunch truck or anything to show up. I ain't playing that game again. Everybody was hungry. That was sad. However, you can send donations in if you would like prior to the meet. That's entirely up to you. If you do, fine. If you don't, I'll figure it out. We're going to go ahead, Heather and I, and we're just cooking tons and tons of burgers and chicken up, macaroni salads, and we're just supplying the food. I'm not counting on somebody again like that. That was very upsetting. So we're going to take care of that next year. We're probably going to move it to October and find the perfect spot. Although I thought this spot was very nice this time, though, regardless. Beautiful lake, everything there. And we had a great time. Thank you all so much. Next year is going to be big, huge, humongous. Just bring yourself. There will be plenty of food. It'll be cool out. We'll have a great time. Thank you so much to my extended family. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And thanks for taking out the time to spend time with me. Love you all very much. I'll see you Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Community Channel.